Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to your December 2025 love reading. This is going to be for singles as well as people in relationships. Sometimes I do these separately. This month I'm combining but for people in relationships, it's people in relationships that are not working. It's not meant for people. Sometimes people say, yeah, I have I'm listening to this and they might have a good relationship, and it's like, well, what do you need counsel on then? Not that I'm trying to be a counselor, but I mean looking for messages or what have you. You have a great relationship, enjoy that relationship. And I know sometimes it's because they're so used to things going wrong, it's like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that to me, that's really something to watch in your life if you have a tendency to get afraid when things are going well, because you know that it's like, it's funny because I just got the Five of Pentacles. It's like that. It's like you think, well, something's about to happen because things are going too well. All right, well, the central theme is a great card, the Ace of Wands. This is a card of receiving good news. Start spreading the news. So the first card is a very passionate card, the Ace of Wands, the beginning of something that is very exciting. It's fire energy, maybe even dealing with somebody that's a fire sign, or they might have a signature in their chart. So in other words, they're not necessarily an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but maybe, sun sign, but maybe they have like a rising sign that really, like, you see that first, because we see the rising sign first and we think, wow, that person is really the life of the party. They seem like they're a lot of fun. They seem very outgoing. This can be sometimes something that the term that came into my mind right now is flash in the pan, which means that it's something that burns out very quickly, because sometimes that's what these types of situations are, like an affair or something. And I'm not talking, when I say affair, I should say like a fling, because affair sounds like you're cheating on your partner or something like that. And it's not necessarily like that. But the point is, you have to like ask yourself, like, is this something that is even like more of a physical attraction? Or is it really like I am in love? Like, it might even come on suddenly. So it's one of those things. And this could even be like a timing card, like aces are beginning. So maybe this is going to occur around the new moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, which is on December 19th. So that could be the activation period. And this reading is for December. In the past position, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by, or is connected to the planet Jupiter. It's funny, there's your sign in the upper right-hand corner. All the fixed signs are on this the Wheel of Fortune. So the bottom line is that the Wheel of Fortune can be like a twist of fate. It can be a turning point. If you're someone who is single and you have been wondering if you're ever going to find love in your life, this might be the time, and it might just jump right out at you. If you are in a relationship, you may develop a strong attraction for somebody else. And whether or not you act on that is a different story, but at least what that can do is it can plant a seed within you, Scorpio, about what is possible. Because sometimes if somebody's been with someone for 20 years and they have children together and they have all these obligations, they can kind of get this feeling like, well, that's how life is. You get married and then you just have to kind of like, you have to dial down your expectations. You can't just expect that you're going to be madly in love with somebody forever. And it may be true that your relationship changes, when you are in a committed situation after you have children, all of that. But it doesn't mean that you're just completely indifferent to that person, or that you don't enjoy it when they walk through the door. That gives you, if you, feel like kind of negative feelings when you're around that person, that can show you that it's something that may not be contributing to your not only happiness, but like growth, your peace of mind. And that is something to definitely pay attention to. What's the higher message is the two of wands. Whenever you see a two in a reading, it can be that there is a decision that you have to make. And this can even be about whether you should stay where you are or go. Even like you see the person has a globe in their hand, the world in their hand. So it might be something where something comes up where you have this opportunity to go somewhere else. Maybe it's through your career, or a family member who says, hey, why don't you come back to your home country, or whatever, a different state, a different province, whatever it is. And you might be wondering if that wouldn't be the best solution for you to kind of start fresh, or to get away from all of the, to put a distance between you and somebody that you're just not compatible with. Even if you're single, this could be a thing where, I think sometimes fixed signs like Scorpio, even if you get like this great offer to if you belong to work for a company, they may have like some kind of office in a different country, and you might resist going because you're so attached to the familiar. And so that could be where you meet your soulmate. So just think about that if you're single, that you never know if that's going to bring you exactly what you've been looking for. What crosses you is the King of Wands. You may be feeling disempowered at this time. And that is, I mean, when we feel disempowered, obviously there are sometimes special circumstances, like being like, if you are in a relationship with someone and maybe they're even being verbally abusive, or even if it's like kind of more on the subtle level where they, give you these little jabs or something, and it makes you question your self-worth. Or maybe you have been cheated on and you are like, well, I'm going to leave the first chance I get, but you still have this sense of like, I don't know if I can make it on my own. Those kinds of things can kind of plague you and make you feel disempowered. What is coming in is the Five of Pentacles. This is another card. Now, this can be like financial worries, and that might be like connected to your sense of reluctance to leave a relationship. But with single people, but even with people that are coupled, but with single people too, there can be this lack consciousness in general that applies to potential love or relationships, where you're not that choosy. You're not choosy enough because you're like, well, what if I never get asked out again? Or if there's nobody, around, maybe it's better just to stay in this unhappy relationship because I'm not getting any younger. I might never have this opportunity to get coupled. I'm not sure if I have enough money to live on my own. If you're single, it can simply be, not being discerning enough in who you're dating. And so these kinds of situations, if you're really physically attracted to someone, but you may suspect that it's not going to be the one, that you really think twice about getting involved. And then you think, well, this is just for fun. I'm not necessarily, because it could take something out of you energetically, emotionally. The outcome is a card of, to me, kind of stepping into your self confidence, but it's coming from more of the emotional side of things, the Queen of Wands, rather than just like with the King of Wands. It can also be like your autonomy, like in terms of working for yourself or something like that. But with the Queen of Wands, it really is speaking of your own sense of confidence, and also how you allow other people to treat you, because you're going to be much more likely to have those boundaries, and you're going to do so with a smile. It's not going to be this kind of a negative vibe. And so if there is somebody that is coming into your life, and it may feel very like heady, very like exciting, you still will realize that you have to keep, um, have a good head on your shoulders about it, because you know that you are deserving of the best. All right, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.